Hi, welcome to Budget MTG Decks. All magic fun, all cards under $1. I'm David.
I'm Stefan.
And today we're going to be looking at all the red cards in Rivals of Ixalan.
We're going to evaluate them for limited, like draft or sealed, or like your upcoming Prerelease. And we'll get 4 packs of Rivals of Ixalan and 2 packs of Ixalan. And if you want to watch the set review of Ixalan, you should click on the link.
Exactly. Now we're going to be looking at these cards according to our 3-tiered system. Tier 1, these are excellent cards. They're going to be winning us the game. Unconditional removal, bombs. These are the cards that push you into playing that color. Tier 2, these are very good cards, either auto-includes if you're already that color, or a number of these will push you into that color. And finally, we have the Tier 3 cards, which are the filler cards, and they make sure we have a nice, smooth mana curve. All the other cards, we're going to put those aside because they're either plain bad or too situational. Let's get started with the common cards.
The first common is Fanatical Firebrand. It's a red 1/1 Goblin Pirate with haste, and you can tap, sacrifice it, and it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. It's a 1/1 for 1. It has haste, but not relevant. Dealing 1 extra damage, also 99% of the times, not relevant. Put it aside.
Yeah, it's a really extremely bad combat trick that people see coming, so it's not even, that's just terrible. Mutiny is next for 1 red. It's a sorcery. Target creature an opponent controls deals damage equal to its power to another target creature an opponent controls. Now this is, you can imagine it's a really good card in a very particular situation where your opponent's got 2 creatures that are able to kill each other, or at least one that's efficiently able to kill the thing that you actually want to kill. Also slightly unlikely. But any other scenario, it does nothing.
Yeah, it's a shame that they don't fight each other, because they don't. It's only one deals damage to the other.
Yeah.
And they have to have 2 creatures, so just put it aside.
And the one that you want to die has to be able to be killed by another one that you want to kill less than the other way around. So it's just not a great
because else you're killing the worst thing.
Yeah, which is just not great. Just not great. Just put it aside.
Yeah. Shatter, 1 and a red, instant, destroy target artifact. Also put aside. Not many artifacts that's really that relevant.
Too situational.
Yeah.
Sun-Collared Raptor for 1 and a red. It's a 1/2 dinosaur with trample. So it's actually got less power than we'd like, because for 2 mana we'd like a 2/2. Yeah. But it has the ability for 2 and a red. We can give it +3/+0 until the end of turn. So what's cool about this card is that it comes in on turn 2, and then on turn 3, assuming you didn't miss your land drop, you can attack with a 4/2 trample. Now that is going to be doing tons of damage, which means it's nice, which means it's good early game, and you can use it late game to pump tons more mana into it, and because it got trampled, they can block all they want, but you're still going to be getting damage through. The only reason why it's not tier 2 is because if you do want to be using it as efficiently as possible throughout the game, it will stop you from playing other stuff from your hand, because you are using your mana. So that's why it's tier 3.
Yeah, but I still really like these kind of cards because of the mana sink, because it's still good late game.
Yeah.
If you have 6 mana, then it's a 7/2 trample, and that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a high tier 3.
Yeah. Goblin Trailblazer, 1 and a red. It's a 2/1 Goblin Pirate with menace. Tier 3, it has menace for 2 mana. 2 power menace is actually pretty nice, but it can be blocked with anything, and yeah, I think still tier 3.
Yeah, tier 3, a high tier 3 for me, because I do think it's going to be doing tons and tons of damage, kind of like 2 powered flyers, for example. Tilinali's Crown for 1 and a red. It's a aura, and when it ends the battlefield, we're going to deal 1 damage to enchanted creatures. You can use it on the offense to kill a 1 toughened creature, but you can also put it on one of our own creatures, which has more than 1 toughness, and then it's going to get +3/+0 and trample. I don't like these kind of effects. Once again, even if you do put it on your enraged creature, you get some value out of it. Then that creature all of a sudden's got more power, get trample, and then all of a sudden, what do they do? Instant speed remove it. You lost your 2 cards, and they only lost 1 card. You don't want to put yourself in that situation, so put it aside.
Yeah, I really do want to see someone kill stuff with this, though.
They're killing a 1 toughness thing, yes.
Buccaneer's Bravado, 1 and a red, instant, choose 1. Target creature gets +1/+1 against first strike until end of turn. Or target pirate gets +1/+1 against double strike until end of turn. Most of the times it'll be 2 mana, target creature gets +1/+1 and first strike, which actually isn't bad at all.
Yeah.
Tier 3.
I really like these kind of combat tricks, especially the ones which have first strike, because that really stops your own creatures from dying in most of the time.
What I actually really like about this one, and compared to normally, this one also boosts the toughness with one.
Yeah.
And normally you don't do that with first strike.
That's true.
They get first strike and they only boost the power because it's first strike anyways. But now it can be double blocked, and then it will kill one, it will survive the other one too.
Yeah, because it's got the extra toughness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even better. Yeah, very, very good combat trick. Next up is Frill Death Spitter, aka the Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park 1. For 2 and a red, it is a 3/2 dinosaur with Enrage. Whenever this guy is dealt damage, that's what the Enrage does, is whenever the dinosaur gets poked, it deals 2 damage to target opponent. So that is just for the body, it's a fine filler. I like my 3/2s for 3 mana. I think that's great. Sure, they trade with bears, but if they don't have that bear, they're dealing tons and tons of damage. So, and the fact that should they block it to kill it, you're still doing an additional 2 points of damage as well. So, and of course you can also use it to block, trade up, because it's got the 3 power. You can trade up with it. Yeah, all in all, very decent filler. And please let's not have a discussion about the fact that the Dilophosaurus, or in this case the Frill Death Spitter, probably had no ability to spit poison, because it's not about historical accuracy.
It's a fantasy world, remember?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so next one, Bombard. 2 and a red, instant. Bombard deals 4 damage to target creature. 3 mana, 4 damage, instant speed, sign me up, tier 2.
Yeah, you're signed up.
Yeah.
Great. I know, so the picture looks awesome as well.
Yeah,
it really looks
really
very three-dimensional, the thing. Yeah, it's just good conditional removal.
Yeah.
Very good. Swaggering Corsair for 2 and a red. So for 3 mana, we got a 2/2 human pirate. It's got raid. So if we did attack this turn with a creature, it's going to come in with a +1/+1 counter. So essentially, if we did attack with something before, on turn 2, we attack with our 2/2. And then on turn 3, we first attack with our 2/2, and then we play this guy, and it comes in as a 3/3 for 3. Very decent. Should we not get that ability, it's still okay. So we're gonna put it at tier 3.
Brazen Freebooter. 3 and a red. It's a 3/3 human pirate. Enemy enters the battlefield, create a colors, treasure artifact token. It's a 4 mana 3/3. Not bad. You get a treasure. Also pretty cool. It's a filler.
Yeah, just a filler.
Just a filler.
Yeah. Then we have Oraska Raptor for 2 and 2 red. So for 4 mana, we get a 3/4. Also, fine filler. Can't say anything more about it. I mean, if you're paying 4 mana, this one's got more toughness than the Brazen Freebooter. The Freebooter's got the extra mana. It's all just fine filler.
Exactly.
You're not unhappy to play it, and actually for 4 mana, this is actually much better than what we normally would get. Would be a Yoked Ox, which is a 2/4, so we're getting an extra, for that extra pip of red, we're getting an extra power. Pretty good deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty good deal. High up there.
Stampeding Hornquest. 4 and a red. It's a 4/4 dinosaur, and it has haste as long as you control another dinosaur, and even then, it's still a 5 mana 4/4, which is still a good filler.
Yeah, you just nothing really pushes it into tier 2 territory.
No, exactly.
But you're not unhappy to play any of these cards.
No, because they're still good creatures.
Very solid.
Yeah.
Good power and toughness. Yeah. Stuff that we usually see a little bit more in green, these kind of power and toughness. Now red's getting good power and toughness. Usually red usually only had the extra power. Now this set, it's also got the good toughness. All right, those are the commons. Let's have a look at the uncommons. The first of our uncommons is Daring Buccaneer. For single red, it's a 2/2 human pirate, but it actually costs 3 mana unless we reveal a pirate card from our hand. So most of the cases, we're going to be paying 3 mana for a 2/2, which I just don't think that's good enough if that's, the best thing we're going to be getting out of it. And then maybe potentially it's for 1, but I don't know. Put it aside. It doesn't have anything else extra.
No, because you're still not really doing much.
So basically we want to play a 2/2 for 2, but sometimes we're getting a 2/2 for 1, and sometimes we're getting a 2/2 for 3.
Most of the time.
But most of the 2/2 for 3. So actually just better get a 2/2 for 2.
Yeah. Reckless Rage. 1 mana instant. Reckless Rage deals 4 damage to target creature you don't control, and then 2 damage to target creature you do control. So 4 damage for 1 mana is a lot. Instant speed. But the downside is that it also deals 2 damage to your own creature, and you need to have a creature. It's not up to one creature or anything. You need to have a creature that you will need to be dealing 2 damage to.
Yeah.
And how many times do you actually have a creature that's, you know what, I'll also do 2 damage to that creature. So that's actually really iffy, and that's why I want to put it in tier 3, because normally it's tier 2.
If it would deal damage to us, 2 damage, it would be tier 2.
Exactly, but yeah, it's really painful to do 2 damage to your own things.
Yeah, you need there's a scenario where you have a 3 toughness creature and then it's great, but in all other scenarios it's kind of very difficult to make this work to your advantage.
Yeah.
To tier 3. Next is Stormfleet Swashbuckler for 1 and a red. It's a 2/2, so for 2 mana we get a 2/2. This is great. This is a fine filler card. Very happy with this. It's also got Ascend, and it has double strike if we have the City's Blessing, which means later in the game it's a 2/2 double strike. Okay, how much it's going to do? It's going to be doing 4 damage. Okay, could kill some stuff, could deal some damage, and of course early game it is just a 2/2 for 2, so that's a fine filler.
It's a good filler.
Yeah, just play it.
Sea Red. 1 and a red. It's enchantment aura. Enchant creature gets +2/+1 and has first strike. And beginning of end step, if you didn't attack with the creature this turn, sacrifice Sea Red. Put it aside. We say this on and on, over and over again. 2 for 1ing yourself. The ability isn't good enough to warrant it, so just put it aside.
Yeah, just as you said, don't 2 for 1 yourself with this card. Shake the Foundations is next for 2 and a red, so for 3 mana it's an instant, and we're going to be dealing 1 damage to each creature without flying and drawing a card. Yeah, you may kill a couple of tokens, you may not even do that. I mean, you could use it as a kind of a crappy combat trick. In the end, I just don't think that's enough, and we're going to have to put that card aside.
Yeah, especially with all the 1 toughness flyers things we see, it's just really sad.
That it doesn't hit all creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. That might have made it slightly better.
Yeah. Pirate's Pillage. 3 and a red sorcery. As an additional cost to cast Pillage, Pirate's Pillage, discard a card. And then you draw 2 cards and you create 2 colorless treasure artifact tokens. It's the rummaging, but you lose 2 cards and you gain 2 cards. And you gain 2 treasures for mana. It's all too much. Late game, you can't cast it because you need another card. So that's why I want to put it aside.
Yeah, it's in essence how you could look at it is it costs 2 mana to switch out 2 cards.
Yeah.
And is that sufficient? I don't think so. I don't think that's good enough.
I don't think so.
Then we're going to go to Needletooth Raptor for 3 and a red. It's a cute little 2/2 dinosaur for 4 mana. Power and toughness is not great for 4. You don't want that. But it has Enrage, which means whenever we poke this guy, or whenever our opponent pokes it, then it deals 5 damage to target creature an opponent controls. So what it represents, of course, is a little baby raptor, and anybody who tries to deal damage or tries to kill Needletooth Raptor will get swift and powerful retribution from the mommy raptor. And that's 5 damage to target creature opponent controls.
I'm not sure about that. Have you read this flavor text? It hatches with its ferocity fully grown, which means it is still voracious. Look at it.
Yeah, maybe
it can do 5 damage.
It's a 2/2. I doubt that it can do 5 damage. But the point is that it's really cool. It's exactly it's the kind of card that makes it impossible for people to block it. It makes it impossible for people to attack into you once you have it. And should you have a way to enrage this thing by poking it yourself, then of course that gets really ridiculous.
Yeah, then it's just insane because 5 damage will kill nearly anything.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
Forerunner of the Empire. 3 and a red. It's a 1/3 human soldier, and when it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a dinosaur card, you feel it, shuffle your library, and then put the card on top of it. And whenever a dinosaur enters the battlefield, you may have Forerunner Empire deal 1 damage to each creature, which isn't that relevant. 1 damage to all creatures, like we said before. Some of the flyers, okay, but still, put aside. It's 1/3 for 4 mana. The body isn't good enough to warrant it.
No. Then we go to Charging Tuscadon for 3 and 2 red. So for 5 mana, it's a 4/4 with trample. Alright, awesome. I'm paying attention now. And then if this guy would deal combat damage to a player, it deals double that damage instead. So wait a second. So if you have a 1/1 chomp blocker and you attack with this thing, then not only you're not just dealing 1 damage to that creature and then dealing 3 damage to your opponent, but you're actually dealing 6 damage to your opponent then. That is going to end the game really fast. So that's a tier 1 bomb.
And if they don't block it, it's 8 damage.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so good.
It is
Temple,
incredibly
I like
powerful.
Temple a lot.
Incredibly powerful. If you put this down on turn 5, you just put a clock on these people that they have to answer it immediately.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That is the last of the uncommons. Let's have a look at the rares.
The first rare is Tilonali's Summoner. It's 1 and a red. It's a 1/1 human shaman with Ascent. 1/1 for 2, not that relevant, but what's the ability? Ability, whenever Tilonali's Summoner attacks, you may pay X and a red. If you do, create X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens that are tapped and attacking. And at the beginning of the next end step, exile those tokens unless you have the city's blessing. Which means for 1 turn you get a lot of tokens, it's a mana sink and you attack for a lot. But if you have 5 mana and Tilonali's Summoner, she will trigger Ascent on its own with only 5 mana. Because you tap 5 mana to create 4 tokens, which means you have 10 permanents on the battlefield. And then the tokens stay on the battlefield, and if they don't kill her, then it gets out of hand. So they will kill her, and then you still have some tokens left.
Yeah. And the Ascent.
Exactly, and the Ascent on the table.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's all 1/1s.
Yeah.
And she will die immediately. So that's why it's not better than tier 3. But I think in board stalls or just like getting some less damage too, it's actually a good card.
Yeah, when you're playing this card, I recommend that you attack with it and you don't put all your mana into it. I would recommend you leave at least 2 mana unused, because that would give your opponent the idea that you still have a 2 mana combat trick which you can use to protect Tilonali's Summoner, which may dissuade them from blocking Tilonali's Summoner, or even maybe any of your tokens. And the fact that you're missing 2 tokens is, I think, less important than the fact that you are threatening your opponent with the potential of a combat trick, which they may be afraid of.
Yeah.
Then we have Direfleet Daredevil for 1 and a red. So we've got a 2/1 with First Strike. Now, I don't usually like my 2/1s for 2, but when they have First Strike, that makes them also even better than regular 2/2s for 2. So I'm already very happy with this. And when it enters the battlefield, exile target instant or sorcery card from opponent's graveyard, and we can cast it that turn and spend mana as though it mana of any type to cast it. If we put it into the graveyard, we actually exile it instead. So that is like a kind of like a reverse Snapcaster Mage. We pop it down, make sure we got, this is exactly, again, one of those perfect cards. They're great early, great late. Beginning of the game, we pop it down. It's just a 2/1 with First Strike. We're going to start dealing damage. Late in the game, we're going to pop it down. We got extra mana. We're going to take the best instant sorcery out of our opponent's graveyard. We're going to play it, exile it, and then we got extra value out of that.
Exactly. It's just really good.
Always play it.
Yeah. Blood Sun, 2 and a red, enchantment. When Blood Sun enters the battlefield, draw a card. And then all land lose all ability except mana abilities. It's limited. It will be a 3 mana drawing a card.
Yeah.
And then it gets some extra card for your Ascent. But still, it is so bad, don't play it.
No, keep it in Commander, guys. Keep it in Commander. Alright, next we have Etali Primal Storm for 4 and 2 red. We have the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. And this guy states that whenever this one attacks, we're going to exile the top card of each player's library, and then we can cast any number of non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. So that's, of course, each player. That's us as well, and our opponents. In Commander, goes completely crazy, but in Limited, we're going to be basically, I mean, if one of them is a land, we're always going to be at least getting 1 free card.
Yeah.
For every 2, and of course we can get lucky.
It's
get 2.
casting. You don't cast, and it's no non-land.
I don't say that's why.
Oh, yeah,
if one of them is a land, then you only get 1.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
So, but yeah, of course, ideal scenario, you're getting 2 free cards every time this thing attacks, and it can attack with impunity because it is a 6/6.
Exactly, and even without you getting 2 cards, it's still so good. It's still 6/6
so strong,
for 6.
This is just a bomb.
It is a bomb, and it will get you more free bombs.
Yeah, tier 1, amazing, beautiful.
Yeah. And speaking of dinosaurs, Form of the Dinosaur, 4 and 2 red, each enchantment. When Form of the Dinosaur enters the battlefield, your life total becomes 15. on 6 mana, you will probably gain life with this. At the beginning of the upkeep, Form of the Dinosaur deals 15 damage to target creature an opponent controls, and that creature deals damage equal to its power to you. It's not really that relevant that it deals damage to you. I mean, at one point it will be, but killing something every single turn and already gaining life with this card is just so good. Tier 1, unconditional removal, gaining you life, destroying stuff, yeah.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
They don't remove this, they're dead, because you can, right when it comes in, or well, at the beginning of your next upkeep, we're going to be killing the biggest thing. So we may, worst case, we're going to take 6 damage, let's say. Okay, that's a lot of damage, but we took care of their bomb. They got the worst. We still have our best stuff. And then every turn after that, we can either start killing smaller and small stuff, or we can go back down from smaller to bigger and make sure we don't lose, we lose as little life as possible by hitting their 1/1s and their 2/2s, for example, as well, if we want to kind of like break that and start dealing some damage with our fatties. So I don't think it's such a bad downside, actually.
No, because you deal damage, you destroy that stuff, then you can still attack, and then it will really difficult for them to have creatures to block, attack you with.
What pushes it over the edge for me is that we still pick what creature we deal the 15 points of damage to. If it would say deals 15 damage to the creature with the highest power of our opponents, then it could get dangerous. But now we can always switch to something smaller should push comes to shove.
Yeah.
Then we move on to Brass's Bounty for 6 and a red. So for 7 mana, it's a sorcery. For each land we control, we're going to put a colorless artifact token onto the battlefield, which we can tap and sacrifice for a mana of any color. So it basically doubles our land for the next turn if you want to. Or we can just save it. Whichever way you look at it, doubles the amount we can use at that point in time. So that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, I can't imagine what we want to do with such insane amounts of mana when we were already able to cast this for 7.
It's 7 mana. If you have 7 mana and you're gonna cast this, what are you
gonna
do?
You're wasting your time. Yeah.
In limited, what are you gonna do with all that mana?
Keep it in Commander, guys. All right, go on to the last one of the rares.
Silverclad Ferocidons. 5 and 2 red. It's an 8/5 dinosaur and has Enrage. Whenever it's dealt damage, each opponent sacrifices a permanent. It's so difficult to get rid of, like with one creature, so you have to double, triple block it, and then they have to even sacrifice more permanents after all the creature died. And if they don't block it, then they get 8 damage? Tier 1.
It's offensive. Yeah, it's offensive. It's beautiful. Thing of beauty. This is great. This is again one of those things you poke it, and then people have to start sacrificing their stuff. It's just gobbling shit up.
I don't trust when you say a thing of beauty. When the thing of beauty last time was someone being impaled.
And this is a bunch of dinosaurs crashing through somebody's city. Yeah, that's just beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, my friend. You disagree?
I don't know what your definition of beauty is.
It's something when you're playing Magic and it does the things you want it to do. That's the thing of beauty. All right. Anyway, those are the rares. Let's have a look at the mythics. Our only red mythic is Rekindling Phoenix. For 2 and 2 red, we get a 4/3 flyer. So for 4 mana, a 4/3 flyer, that is insanity. That's really good. That's gonna be winning. That's already tier 1 right there. Then additionally, when it dies, so when they finally dealt with it, we're gonna create a 0/1 red elemental creature token, which at the beginning of our next upkeep, we're gonna sacrifice to return Rekindle Phoenix from our graveyard back to the battlefield, and it gains haste as well. So it's almost impossible to get rid of this thing, because every time they kill it, next turn, during our upkeep, we can get it back with haste and attack with it again. So the only way they can actually get rid of it is in the same turn, killing both the Rekindled Phoenix, and then right after that, killing the 0/1 red elemental. And if they cannot do both of those things, one after the other, they are dead.
Yeah. So that means they have to or block this, kill this by blocking, and then spending a removal card on the kindling elemental, or they have to spend removal on this one and on the elemental, and doesn't matter what happens, it's still 2 cards either way, and then they only got rid of it finally.
There is no way that they can get out of this in a good way.
Exactly, else it's just 1 card every single time they try to get rid of it.
It's too powerful.
It's so good.
It's amazing. Tier 1, once again, can't explain too much about it. It's just super amazing.
And only 4 mana.
Crazy, crazy.
4 mana.
That's why it's mythic. All right, great. Those are the mythics. Let's have a look at the conclusion. In conclusion, I am quite disappointed in red. Red has now gotten an increase in power and toughness with respect to the creatures, or at least an increase in toughness when it comes to the creatures, but it had to sacrifice its efficient, low-costed, and at common removal. The removal is there's not a lot of removal in Red. The removal that's there is very conditional, and it's not common enough, I think. Additionally, the power and toughness of the creatures is good. It's been increased, so that's nice. But then again, that is a territory that usually green excels at even better for even lower cost. So what is red really doing in this set? I don't really see anything which red brings to the table that other colors don't do better. The evasion creatures that white does, the removal that black does, the fatties that green does. I just don't see, or low-costed, high-powered evasion creatures, which blue has. Red just does not bring anything to the table which the other colors do not already do better, and that's why I'm slightly disappointed. Also, the only area which you would expect red to be good at, what the other colors don't have, is really low, cheap, costed creatures which can start doing a lot of damage early game. It doesn't even have a lot of that.
No, it's a lot slower, and we're missing like a lot more of the removal, like you said, because normally we have multiple pieces of direct damage, and we don't actually have that. We have like one in common and one in uncommon, which actually deals damage to us too,
yeah,
our creature.
Rare, yeah.
So that's really disappointing, but I think it's still a decent supplementary color, because actually these creatures are still pretty solid.
Yeah.
So it's not all bad.
That's true. That's true. All right, now we'd like to invite you guys to head on over to patreon.com/budgetmtgdecks. That's our Patreon page where you can donate as little as $1 a month to the cause, and the cause is to improve this channel and to continue to making videos for all of you guys. Really love doing this and really appreciate all our patrons for making these videos possible. So head on over to patreon.com/budgetmtgdecks. Also, now that you're here on YouTube anyway, consider subscribing to this channel to be held up to date of the new videos coming out. And of course, if you want a notification when the latest video comes in, which will be the green set review for Rivals of Ixalan, hit the little bell button next to the subscribe button to get a notification and be part of the notification squad. And finally, we'd like to ask you to join us on the socials, which is our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We share pictures, discussions. You can talk to us there. You can ask us questions. Best way to get in touch with us. We also share non-budget upgrade suggestions for our deck techs, for our budget commander decks, etc. All that good stuff is over there on our social. And behind-the-scenes pictures. You want to see Stefan and me being idiots. That's it. Thanks for watching. I'm David.
I'm Stefan.
This was Budget MTG Decks.